When is it time to throw in the towel and go back to carbs? Should you go back to carbs? What if you feel like you can never eat any starches, sugars, plants again? Carnivore's the way, or keto's the way. I'm here to dispel that myth right now. Welcome everyone. When is it time to throw in the towel, and what if you cannot get your blood sugar in check, or your insulin, or your A1C? Most people don't even know their blood sugar is bouncing, but let's get into it. Welcome everyone. I just came back from Nashville, took my horse Thunder. Where is he? That dude right there. I just took him to the vet to check his eye, and the vet's like, actually his eye looks really good, because what you guys don't know is my boy had eye cancer. Well, actually eyelid cancer, and I had to remove the third eye, and then it came back. So I'm learning about anti-cancer strategies in animals, equine. Besides the whole parasitical thing, because I did the fenbendazole for my horse and the Ivor, I did both for my horse, and that didn't work. So I got a couple of other things up my sleeve besides feeding this guy the most expensive forage. All right, when is it time to throw in the towel and go back to carbs? Now, there's a lot of people that need to do that, and I learned this early on when I was coaching people. So let's go through some of the symptoms you might need to just let it go. And I kind of thought of this video concept because I'm consulting people who are just struggling when they cut out their carbs, and then they struggle with the carbs. What do you do? What do you do? Symptoms. Okay. You still need the coffee when you get up. Tired, or the decaf. Tired, wake up in the middle of the night. Hypoglycemic. So like hangry, brain foggy, nauseous, low energy, jacked up hormones like your thyroid, reproductive hormones, gallbladder issues. Those are the main ones. These are the people that really just might need to drop the whole thing and go back to carbs, especially the gallbladder people. So those symptoms would be right side pain, middle of the stomach pain, radiating to the back, neck pain back here, shoulder pain back there, floating stool, pale stool, partially floating stool, yellow stool, nausea. Yeah, those are the main ones. Greasy stool. Yeah. That would be your gallbladder. I've explained this in many videos, and yes, you can do a low-carb diet without a gallbladder because the liver still produces bile. Problem is when your gallbladder is supposed to concentrate that bile and release it, and when it doesn't release because it's stuck, it's too thick, the bile. See, if you have no gallbladder, it's not going to get stuck or get thick. It's just not enough concentration. It's a fine web you have to weave. But the gallbladder is the main issue. And some people's gallbladder is so bad, and then they'll have hypoglycemia at the same time. They just have to take a break. Fix that gallbladder. What are the solutions? Well, everyone is different. So bitter herbs and TITGA and concentrated lipase are 100% are pure. Taurine, glycine for those who have low taurine glycine in the body reserves. And then we've got some people can do TITGA. A lot of people without a gallbladder do better with ox bile rather than having a gallbladder and taking ox bile. Those digestive enzymes aren't really good to take all the time because they can sort of weaken the ability to produce these pancreatic enzymes. So if you have a gallbladder, then you don't want to be on these supplements for very long. Maybe one bottle's worth, 1 month. The gallbladder, that's the number one problem. Yeah, sit straight, massage it, exercise, drink a lot of fluids, sleep, get some sleep, rested sleep. All right, the next massive one, these are the top two, is, wait for it, a broken blood sugar. It's bouncing. It's high and it's low and it's low and it's high. Get a glucometer. CGMs are not very accurate. They're only good to check the algorithm and not the actual number. A blood prick glucometer is better. Precision, Extra, Fluor, Mojo, those are the brands. Test your ketones and glucose. I've talked about this 5,000 times. Yeah, glucose between 75 and 83, ketones between 1.8 3.0. Very rough numbers. Everything's contextual, and you have to have energy and so forth and so on. But there's more. Okay. Blood sugar. Why is it bouncing? Inflammation, lack of sleep, not enough exercise, exercising too late, stress, life stress, toxic, dysbiotic gut, leaky gut, histamine, medications, poor sleep, too many carbs, too much protein, not enough fat. The garden variety of what I'm always talking about. But typically, your body is having problems with sugar from before. You have an underlying blood sugar issue with insulin resistance, or your blood sugar is dysregulated. Like I said, those things like not sleeping well and waking up in the middle of the night and not eating, like fasting. Hello, fasting is so stupid. It's so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to call people dumb. It's just dumb to fast. Yes. Coffee. Ooh, that's another dumb. And not being hydrated. These are all things that make your blood sugar weird, right? Stress, depleting sodium, too much sodium, not enough potassium. Your minerals out of whack can literally make your blood sugar skyrocket. Processed foods, trying to cycle, ketogenic diet. So don't cycle. Have your protein moderate to low, your fats high. Go to bed early. I mean, people are like, well, you never say the answer. I'm like, the answer is the opposite of what I'm criticizing. It's not quantum physics. If you're dehydrated, manage your magnesium, potassium, and water. If you want me to go through the absolute numbers that you should hit, I've got a ton of videos already going through it, so I'm trying to get through this dang video so I can go to the gym. I know. And then help the guys fix my house. Or rather, make it beautiful. They're doing the ceiling right now in wood. Not tongue and groove. And whatever. Okay. Blood sugar is the biggest issue, and it typically comes from a dysregulated blood sugar before. You might drink alcohol or coffee or smoke some Zaza, smoke some cigarettes. These things can make your blood sugar bounce. Also medication. If you're on thyroid medication, and the opposite is like, should I go off? Yes. I don't believe in those medications unless you have no thyroid at all. I mean, if you had your parathyroid removed, a little bit of a different story, but just a little. A wee bit. We're not supposed to be on much medications, y'all. Like, we just get used to anything and think it's normal. Just like being like sorted in the arm. Yeah. And having a cocktail of mess going to the body. I had Sharada Ronabona. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You thought you did, and you're just parroting what you heard on the news. But that's a whole nother subject. Yes. Blood sugar is the second one. That's when you should go back. The third one is the fact that people just aren't disciplined enough. Because if your gallbladder's working fine and your blood sugar's fine, why wouldn't you do a well-formulated ketogenic diet or a well-formulated carnivore diet where you're eating oxtail, bones for the matrix, tendons, because we need something for that prebiotic fiber. Or rather, I'm sorry, and your gut microbiome to stabilize. Because someone said, I do carnivore and I'm amazing. I'm like, you're just a liar. Sorry. Lies, lies, lies. Just like the Thompson twins said. Yeah, because some people don't even recognize their symptoms. They just don't. Because they're in their own body until you talk to I've talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And when you talk to a bunch of people, you're like, get out of town. And then like these people start having the same symptomology. I'm not having it. I never even had a gallbladder problem. So when I first started coaching, I didn't know that you could. In fact, I didn't know about that organ, the gallbladder, whatsoever. So if I was preaching, oh my God, just eat fat before bed and just prime and eat a ton of fat, and oh, you have a histamine intolerance to butter, or just eat more. I would do that had I not coached so many people over the years and learned from y'all. If you are having a massive histamine response to foods, if you are not disciplined, do not cycle ketosis. If you're an athlete and you need carbs, then do low carb. That's starch based but low and moderate to high fat. If you're going to do carnivore, make sure you get a matrix. If you're going to do keto, make sure you're not reactive to all these foods. And if you're doing carnivore or keto, make sure you're not reactive. And make sure you're eating grass-fed organic, if you can find it. Granted, sometimes people can't. Or sometimes you just need a local farm because the cows are going to be grass-fed most of the year. And then they're going to supplement a little bit of grain in them winter months. Yeah. Unless you're going to feedlot, that's a whole other thing. But you should only go to carbs if you're struggling. Now, for the people who are like, I need diversification of my food, I don't listen to that nonsense. Pick a lane. If you're going to do keto or carnivore, do it. Right? If you're going to do carnivore, if you're going to do carnivore because you want to get your inflammation down for the short term, do it and do it correctly. That's what I meant to say. If you're going to do a ketogenic diet, make sure you get enough fat in and carnivore to be ketotic for both. Very important. Know when to rotate your foods. Know when to was I going to say Ronda Rousey? I'm trying to get out the door. That's when I always burp my words. Yes, it's time to throw in the towel when you're having histamine to the foods that you're eating, because people get too much into mono foods when they do keto or carnivore. It's time to throw in the towel if your gallbladder is so jacked up that no matter what we do, because I do these strategies all the time, like try the trimmings and try olive oil, and that's still an LCT. Oh, I'm allergic to coconut oil. Well, time to go back to carbs. For the short term, fix the gallbladder, then go back to the ketosis land. If you can tolerate plants, don't do carnivore. You don't want that prebiotic fiber, which helps to stabilize the bacteria in your colon. That's what we need the fiber for. It's called prebiotic fiber. It takes the existing bacteria and keeps it stable. Or it helps if you're taking kefir or anything that has probiotic in it to help stabilize. Because that gut microbiome, that bacteria is so freaking sensitive because we're exposed to heavy metals and we need to chelate, and we have thyroid issues, and we have candida overgrowth. That's a whole nother video. What about the parasites? Parasites love heavy metals. And then there's candida, which is opportunistic. And no matter what diet you do, you keep crashing and having hypoglycemia. And it could be a parasitical infestation where your immune system's too low. Or if you guys are having high B12, high iron, hemochromatosis, your blood values like B12 are too high, you might have to go off of Carnivore for short term. Fix the gut that's making you not absorb these important vitamins and minerals, and go back on if you choose. Now, this is nothing new, so get at it. Comment below. Because what I'm noticing is that people do carnivore in the beginning. They're like, oh my God, it's so fabulous. Like the girl I consulted yesterday who did it. And she's like, my skin cleared up. I felt amazing. I could finally fall asleep. And I looked at her because we were having our second consultation. I said, what happened? She's like, I don't know. Just out of nowhere it stopped. I said, okay. We got to try some new strategies. Let's look at the meat. Let's boil your meat because she has histamine really, really bad. Let's boil that meat. Let's rotate that meat. She was already doing grass-fed. Some people have an aversion to red meat, or grass-fed, very red meat. I said, let's do cod liver. Let's do some turkey, which is low histamine, only because of histamine. Some people have histamine so bad they got to eat boiled rabbit for the short term, just for the short term. I know it's a lot. I need to talk about leaky gut and histamine because a lot of people don't realize they have it. All these gurus that think they are immune to having health issues, not true. Well, Sean Baker admits that he's got like neck pain and some pain, and Paul Saladino, so kudos for them, to be honest. But the rest of them out there, and some of them I just love to tears. I think they're just lovely people. But the information, I don't know. Don't use yourself as the example. And anybody comment on this page that they're amazing, good for you. Hercules, child. But that's not everybody else. Different strokes, different folks. Comment below. I'm out because my feet are cold in this camper. And yes, my house is soon almost ready. Get the frack out of here.